Hey guys, it is June 11th. It's Thursday. I feel like it's been such a long time since I've talked to you guys, but I think it's only been about a week. The last vlog I put up was not this past weekend, but the weekend before that. And I think I had intentions of doing like a weekly vlog, but this is the first time I'm picking up my camera the entire week, just for different reasons. Like every day something would come up, and then by the time I had the notion to pick up the camera, the day was really gone. But I definitely wanted to jump on, and I knew that whatever the first little clip was going to be, I wanted it to be relevant or like purposeful given the last couple of weeks. So, you know, the country has been going through a time, doubly so because, you know, we're still trying to get our lives back together after the like coronavirus outbreak and just trying to manage that, and then everything that has happened since then with Ahmaud Arbery. I always call her Karen, but her name is Amy in Central Park, and then of course George Floyd. So you know, that all went on, and last week for me was like kind of the height of like dealing with that in terms of like just watching the news and stuff like that, and just being really emotional about it and stressed about it and having all these mixed emotions and reaching out to my district and just doing all kinds of things in relationship to that case, that situation, and like the ramifications of that and the implications of that, so on and so forth. So I didn't vlog, obviously, but if you do faithfully follow this channel and watch, I just hate when you guys see my giant arm out, and watch, excuse me, that's better, watch my vlogs, then you know that last week, instead of putting up a vlog, I put out an open letter that was titled Dear White Teachers, because I was getting a lot of outreach from fellow white teachers, which is why it was called that. So I put that video up, and I am happy to say that I've gotten mostly positive responses. I've maybe gotten one comment that I would call negative. The rest, like a couple people took issue with me calling it Dear White Teachers, which tells me or makes me wonder, did they hear what I said before I actually read the letter? But that was really it. It's been, you know, overwhelmingly positive. It seems to have helped some people by either giving them things to think about or affirming something that they feel. So that was good. And so it's just kind of weird because, you know, I want to continue to vlog and put out videos, but I also want to, you know, acknowledge the fact that it's kind of a weird time. So I guess what I'm saying is I will obviously put out more vlogs, and it will be, you know, stuff that I would have normally done, like the more lighthearted stuff or less significant stuff, but it will probably still be interspersed with conversations about, you know, what we need to do going forward if you're teachers, like what we need to do going forward in the classroom, things that I would like to try and do, things that I'm trying to do to make sure I'm being the best teacher that I can be to all students, and all of that. So I feel like the country and the teaching profession is more open today to the idea that as much as we want it to be equal in all ways and every way for everybody, it's not, and that's not okay. And yes, we've made progress as a country, but we still have progress to make. And it is reassuring to feel that more people are now realizing that. And unfortunately, it had to come on the back of the life of George Floyd for people to kind of see that. And so, you know, that's promising. So yeah, I don't really know like what else to say. It's obviously a terrible situation. But I'm hoping that we bring some good out of it. I, being as old as I am, was around and old enough to remember the riots in 1992, which was a similar case, but not the same because Rodney King wasn't killed. And I just don't remember after that or any of the ones in between there, even the more current ones. Like Philando Castile and Michael Brown, I don't remember this particular sense of like general outrage occurring, you know, across cultures, ethnicities, social classes, states, countries. I don't recall it being as widespread, so that is very encouraging. Of course, there's still people out there that don't really think this is a thing and think that we as Black people are making excuses and think he was a criminal and he shouldn't have done what he did, and you know, racism isn't here, it's over, we got this. Those people still exist, and so hopefully there's someone in their life that will kind of help them understand that it's not eradicated. There's still things that need to be fixed. So that's what I've been up to. That's what I've been doing. You know, I've been on Instagram quite a bit sharing some things, and I will continue to do that there. If this is the first vlog that you're watching, because I know I gained, you know, a significant number of followers on Instagram in the past weeks, and because of that Dear White Teachers video, I know there's quite a few of you that are new here, and so this may be the first vlog that you watched. So I want to say welcome, and I'm happy to have you here, and I hope you enjoy what I continue to put out. So there's that. So it's about almost 2:30 right now, and as far as what I have done today, I woke up and took a spin class on my Peloton bike. I am still absolutely positively loving that. One of the best things that I've done. I think I'll do a video about the bike itself and just my overall experience when I've had it for about a month, which is in a couple weeks. I say that now, but I don't know for sure. I took a spin class, and then I had an electrician come over because I had some light bulbs in the kitchen that needed to be replaced. I don't know if you guys noticed. I don't know when this happened, but I just barely noticed almost all the light bulbs in my kitchen have gone out, and so I know I've done a couple of cooking or did cooking footage, and I don't know if you guys noticed that it was dark in my kitchen, because it was. But he came to replace these light bulbs because I tried to, and I cracked one in the socket and panicked. And I thought I had new light bulbs, but all I had were boxes with the old light bulbs in it. So he had to leave. I had to go to Lowe's to pick up some more of those light bulbs. And he's gonna come back at 3:30. I got those light bulbs, and then that was an excuse for me to go to Starbucks, which I did. Now, could I have gone to Home Depot where there is no Starbucks near it? I could have, but I didn't. So I got my Starbucks. The other reason why I justified that, because I will also, after I finish talking to you guys, be doing a podcast with the special educator. She has a YouTube channel here. Obviously, she has a YouTube channel on YouTube. And she's also on Instagram, and so her and I are going to chat for a little bit, and then that will be out. I don't know exactly when she's going to put it out there, because she has to kind of edit it and everything else. And so I was like, plus I need to be awake and ready for that, and then the electrician has to come back since I didn't have those light bulbs to replace them. So I thought I needed Starbucks to kind of keep myself going. And after that, I need to work on some things for the district. I'm a union rep serving on a committee, and there's multiple committees, but the specific committee I'm on is looking at the results from the parent and teacher survey that they sent out in relationship to distance learning, like looking at data from one particular school site. There's about 30 people in this committee, and we all have a separate school. Looking at the data, looking at the responses, noting trends, interviewing a couple of students to get like student voice, and then reporting that back to the district to kind of help inform what they need to do and what they need to think about for the upcoming school year, should distance learning be a part of it in somehow, some way. So I need to do that as well. And I've also been working on getting my book list, or really my fun fact list, together, which is something I've talked about for years, and I've said I'm gonna make it, I'm gonna make it. I made 2 of them. Earlier this year when I opened up my Teachers Pay Teachers store, and then we had a pandemic, and then I fell off the wagon with that. But I'm making them right now. I'm going to just make them all at once, and it's just going to be one product that has all the list in it. And what I'm doing in addition to that is I've created an Amazon store where I just link all the books that I have. so that if you ever want to see what books are there, you can just go to Amazon and it will be listed. I think I have categorized them by month. I think that's the easiest way for me to do it, and the easiest way for you to kind of see all the books that I have. So that is generally what I've been up to. As far as the dogs, I know you guys enjoy them. Genesis is actually, she's not doing that great today. Every now and then, like, I think it's her back or her neck, something is hurting. See how she's moving and it's very stiff. So she's having one of those days. So I'm not really letting her walk very much because it hurts her. So I'm trying to take good care of her. And Riley is somewhere, I don't know where, probably in the laundry room where it's nice and cool. So that is what's going on. So this is either going to be a day in the life or it's going to be 2 days in the life. I'm not sure yet. But later I will probably film a little bit of cooking footage because I do have a Blue Apron meal that I'm very nervous about because it's based on tofu. And I think I've only had tofu. Sorry, I was just watching to make sure Genesis wasn't about to jump. I think I've only had tofu twice, and it's I know tofu takes on the taste of whatever you prepare it with. So I think it's like a texture issue for me. So I'm not 100% sure what's gonna happen with this meal. And if I don't like it, I'm gonna be kind of stuck. But I'm gonna try it, I'm gonna give it a try and see, let me show you hers. Oh, lay down. See that hunch in her back? She's uncomfortable. Oh, little. I don't know. There's not much I can do besides make sure she rests and doesn't do a lot of moving. So anyway, I'm gonna stop talking now so I can kind of attend to her, and I will check in with you guys later. All right, it is 7:15 hours later. I did the podcast recording with Braylon from That Special Educator. As soon as I find out when that's available for you guys to listen to, I will be sure to let you know and give you all the information you need for that. But we had a good time. We probably spoke for about an hour or so. And then after that, I chatted with my sister for a little bit about a few things. And then I finished up what I needed to do for the committee that I'm on for distance learning. So I got all the information that I was supposed to look at and compile, put that in the chart. I contacted 2 students that I'm going to be using as the students to interview to get their feedback on how everything went. I need a 3rd one, but I don't know that I have a candidate that fulfills like what they're looking for that 3rd student. So I'm gonna keep thinking about the students I have and see if I can think of anyone in particular, but as of right now I can't. If I don't have that 3rd one, they still want the information from the 2, so we'll see. Genesis is still not at her best. She's laying there. She's kind of like a hard-headed person that needs care. Like she's in pain, but she wants to move around and be in the business. And on top of that, some days she's fine with her nose situation and some days she's not. Today she's not. And if I were to be totally honest, like caring for her at the moment and today is stressful, because if I'm not like worried about her moving or being in pain, then I'm having to like try and wipe her nose. She doesn't like to have her nose wiped, so sometimes she's biting me, but she can like barely breathe sometimes because she's that congested. And it's not like a little bit of snot, it's a lot. And so even just that is frustrating, but I'm trying. She's just not having a great day. So I am now in the kitchen. I don't know if you can tell how much brighter it is in here than it has been in the past. And I'm getting ready to cook this. It's I think it's pronounced Sal. General Tso's style tofu. So this is what I'm nervous about. I honestly don't think I'm gonna like the tofu because if I remember correctly, tofu tastes like sponge in your mouth and I don't like that. But here's all the ingredients I need. I'm gonna try it so that I can say for sure after today whether I like it or not. The bok choy is looking a little questionable, but we're gonna work around that. But this recipe should take, it says 30 to 40 minutes, so I'm going to prepare it. I'll like vlog a little bit of that footage, and I'll taste it. And I'll let you guys know how I feel after I taste it. I don't even know what's happening here. Like there's a pot on the block of tofu. I'm getting stressed already. I'll let you guys know, but I'm already mentally prepared to go to the drive-thru at Panda Express and get like a replacement meat. And while I'm doing that, I'm going to be continuing to listen to chapter 6 of Why Are All the Black Kids Sitting Together in the Cafeteria. And I don't think that I mentioned this in the earlier clip, because I was talking about other things, but I've said multiple times on Instagram, and I think I may have said once or twice here, it's definitely a book that you should read if you were already in the process of like thinking about how you can take the things that are going on in the world right now and bring that to the classroom and raise your awareness about some of the social issues that we need to really work on fixing. Maybe just inform yourself of historical things that have happened in the past that affect the present. I think in a previous vlog I said just listen to the prologue. I've since said in an Insta story, no, listen to the whole book. And when I say listen, I'm just saying listen because I'm reading it through Audible. But specifically chapters 3 and 4 are huge in terms of like implications, like concrete things you can think of and refer to when you are thinking about your teaching in the classroom. So those are big chapters. The chapter I'm listening to right now is chapter 6, and this chapter is really good, and I put it on what's that thing called? I put it on Instagram today in an Insta story and said it's the perfect chapter if you're someone who's either having a hard time understanding the concept of white privilege, or you understand it but you have like these emotions surrounding it, like maybe frustration, guilt because you don't see yourself in that, or you're trying to talk to a family member about it and help them understand, or like you need to hear perspectives on how different white people refer or feel about that concept and how they may or may not associate with it. It's just a really good chapter. And what I generally so far like about this book is it gives like good perspective for a lot of like it gives a lot of good information on different perspectives, a lot of good things that make you think about things in ways you hadn't before. So for example, I never think about like the white perspective in some of the ways that she's talking about in this book because I'm not white. I just don't think from that mindset. And one of the other points she makes in this chapter, which I think is a good idea, is yes, it's great for you to diversify your group of friends, and I'm talking to white people right now, diversify your group of friends and like seek out friendships where you feel that safe space to ask questions and have dialogue about this. But she also talks about it's just as important to find other white friends that are kind of in the same journey and maybe have a little bit more experience or have progressed a little bit more, so that you have that comfort level in discussing like their experience there to kind of comfort you if you find that you're having a hard time. So read it if you can't buy it, because it's hard to get your hands on right now because it's sold out just about everywhere. Audible is a great option. This video is not sponsored. As I always say with things like this, Audible does not know I exist, but I always listen to books like this on audio because I can listen to it in the car, I can listen to it while I cook, and I just like to absorb that kind of information that way and save like physical books for fiction. That's just my preference. So I'm gonna put you guys down so I can start listening, and I'll check in with you when I'm done cooking. have finished cooking. I have finished cooking. Here it is. That will be tomorrow's dinner, tonight's dinner. Notice all the tofu is sitting here. This was supposed to be cooked in the pan when I cooked the vegetables, but because I don't know how I'm going to feel about this, I didn't want to intermix with that just in case. Now, if I were going to be honest, even the feel and the touch of the tofu has convinced me that I probably won't like it. I might be pleasantly surprised, but I'm not necessarily hopeful that I will be. So I'm going to try this right now on camera. And I'm nervous. But the good news is once I try it, I will no longer, when someone says, do you like tofu? I will no longer have to say, I don't know. I'll be able to say, yes, I do, or absolutely not. So let's see. I'm gonna take a small piece. Oof, I don't even like the fact, there's so many things I don't like about how it just moves about in life. So I have this little small piece. I'm going to get a vegetable, some sauce, and a little bit of rice. I'm gonna taste it. So here we go. I can't really tell because I feel like I mostly tasted the string bean. So now I'm gonna be really brave and taste just a small piece by itself. Like this big a piece. Yeah, it's like, I guess that's really just how I feel about it. I don't love it and I don't hate it. To the point where I would never buy it. Like if I see another recipe with Blue Apron that has tofu, I'll probably just replace it. I would never just independently buy it to make it because it's just like, I don't know. So I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna get a little side of meat from Panda Express. I'm still gonna mix in some of the tofu, but not have it completely tofu based. So that's what I'm getting ready to do. I'm gonna stop vlogging for the day right now because my battery's gonna die, and I will check in with you guys tomorrow. Good afternoon, it's Friday. It's a little after 2. I have woken up. Honestly, let me sit down because I already know. I woke up this morning, and I have woken up the past several mornings just with like, not waking up with the like, yes, a new day is here, but more of like a new day is here and I'm sad or anxious. And I know it's just because like everything that's happening in the world and the news and the commentary and the things people are saying and disagreeing about. But I think if I were to boil it down, and I put this on my Facebook page, that is not public, it's really just for family and friends that I know in real life. The gist of what I said, and if you hear that, that's just the landscapers outside, is that weight and that feeling that I'm waking up with every morning is just the frustration and the anxiety and the emotions that are tied to the fact that in the midst of all that's going on and people that are like, yes, I believe in the Black Lives Matter movement, or no, I don't, I think it's just, you know, ridiculous, and that people need to get over things. That kind of statement just is discouraging because it just reminds me that for some people, it doesn't really matter what I accomplish or do or what successes I have or someone that looks like me has, or we can have a Black president or an amazing first lady, that for some people we're just like exceptions to the rule. Like we're just anomalies within Black America, and that's frustrating. It's hurtful because that then means that they do believe that inherently we're just subpar, I don't know, not as good. Like we're just naturally born not capable of just being good people that educate themselves and aspire to do things and stuff like that. And so it's frustrating. Like, it's emotionally exhausting waking up to just like be reminded of that. So I woke up with that on my mind this morning. I took a spin class and I'm feeling better. And I'm gonna try and just kind of like push past that and just do some other stuff to take my mind off things. As far as Genesis is concerned, she's not really doing any better. She's laying on the couch. I thought she was doing better this morning because when I woke her up, she was walking normally. She got up, went outside. She seemed to be able to turn her neck and all of that. And so while I was upstairs getting dressed this morning to like take a spin class on the Peloton, let me turn this around. I don't want you zoomed up on my face though. She just on her own started like crying, like whining and whimpering because something had happened that was painful to her. So I like ran over there and like resituated her on these pillows and laid her down, and she's been laying down ever since. Like, she is a little hard-headed in that she still wants to get up and move around. Like, at one point when I was on the Peloton, she got out of the chair I put her in, walked downstairs, and jumped up on the couch, which is not something she should be doing. I think I said yesterday, but just in case, I have taken her to the vet because this has happened before, and it's just a matter of keeping her still and not having her go up and down the stairs, go on walks. So that's what I'm doing. But it was just like the sound of her crying was just so sad, and then Riley got all worked up because he didn't know what was going on. So she's doing better. What I'm getting ready to do right now is I'm actually getting ready to stop at a UPS location that is near my house, and I am going to return this fanny pack to Amazon. So I think I showed you the first one I returned. Then I got this one. Well, now this one's way too big. I thought it was gonna be smaller. This one is just too much. Like, it's almost to the point where I could fit Genesis in here if I wanted to. And I tried to make it work. I've used it a couple times, and it is convenient to not have to hold things, but this is too much. So I'm returning that, and we're gonna take a pause on the idea of a fanny pack. But I'm also getting ready to drop off this trash out of here, my Peloton shoes. Let me make sure there's nothing in this box that I actually need to keep. Because the ones that I got with my bike, turns out they were just too small. Like, they were too small. I really had no room in the shoe. At first I thought they were fine, and then the more rides I took, the more I realized these are too small. And so I ended up having to order another size up. And so they sent me those, which was a little bit of drama in and of itself because they were taking forever to get here. And then once I put the newer ones on, I was like, yes, these are the ones that I need. So now I need to send those back to Peloton. It's free shipping in case you are like wondering, if I get a Peloton and I have to ship my shoes back, is it free? Yes. So I just have to put this label on it. And so I'm gonna drop that off at the UPS store. So yeah, that's what I'm getting ready to do. Then I'm gonna come home, eat some lunch, and get some things done on my goals list. My purpose for the day, the things I'd like to accomplish, is I would like to do the fun fact list for September, like just redo it, get the books linked and all of that on my little Amazon store, and get my life right with my budget. I mean, my bills are paid, but there is a payment that I need to make on the credit card that I'm now working on, and I just haven't calculated how much I can afford to pay. And I need to get that done because I haven't done it, and I'd like to keep the momentum going. I'm in the final stages of my house being refinanced, so that's good. That'll free up some money for me, so I want to keep on the path that I've put myself on. So anyway, I'm getting ready to go do that, and that's it. So I will check in with you at some point. In all honesty, it still feels kind of weird vlogging, like I'm not totally in the headspace to even like think to do it, but I'm just trying to inch myself back out there and, you know, just kind of do it. But if I don't check in for a while, it's just because I'm like, I'm not 100% back to where I was, say, maybe like a month or so ago. So I appreciate you guys being patient and understanding in that regard. But yeah, I will check in with you before the day is up, and so I'll see you then. 8:07. I just Riley's scratching the carpet again. Oh, see, Genesis is crying. Hold on. All right, I'm back in my office. Genesis is here on my lap, uncomfortable. I think what happens is she will be laying down and then she will move in a way that is irritating whatever it is that's hurting. I think I said earlier that I think it's her neck, and then she'll cry out, and that's just what happens. So I'm gonna cut this clip pretty short, but it's about 8:15. I just finished like making or redoing the fun fact list for September. So this is the old one that I was using in my classroom the past couple of years, and so I'm in the process of making new ones. They're out of order because I started doing these over in January. So I had one for January and February, and then the coronavirus came and I stopped, so I redid the one for August, September, then there's January and February. I'll do the rest when I go back in and get the book bin so I can kind of see what I've had. So I did that, and then in addition to that, I have added them to my Amazon store. This is all new to me, so I'm not even 100% sure that I've done this right. So as you can see, for January, there's 18 books. There we go. There's 18 books that I've put on there that I have read or found in the process of looking for the books that I know I've read. So I'm just listing them there so that you can see, and I'm just doing that for every month. So February, these are all the books that I either used or I think would be interesting for you to use for the month of February. And I'm gonna put a disclaimer somewhere on these that says that some of these I have not read. Some of these I just found, and so I'm really excited about that. And so I think my plan is going to be, the lighting is weird now. I think my plan is going to be, as those months come up, just kind of show the books that I would specifically use, or ideas that I have for the books that I've shared, or how I have used them. And I'll do that, before the month starts so that you have time to like get them and figure out what you want to do. But I would probably do something like that on Insta story, just because it's just easy that way, and I can link everything through the Insta story as well, like link the actual page. And like I said, in all full disclosure and transparency, it is like my Amazon store, so I do get some kind of like kickback from sales. I don't know exactly how much, but I do get credit for it if you purchase through there. If you find them cheaper elsewhere, that's fine, but this is at least a place where you can see all the books that I've used or ideas or whatever. So I got that done. I think now I'm going to get something to eat. I don't know exactly what that is going to be, and I'm going to try and take her downstairs and let her relax a little. But yeah, I think I'm gonna just end the vlog here. I know it was just real short and not a lot going on, but like I said, I haven't really been in the mood, and I'm just kind of easing my way back in there, so I apologize. Either way, I hope that you enjoyed this little short vlog. If you did, give it a thumbs up. If you have any comments, go ahead and leave them in the comment section, and I will do my best to respond to them. If you're not following me on Instagram, go ahead and head over there, because I have a feeling in like just the months and weeks and years to come, that sounds like dramatic, but like going forward, I just think that the YouTube channel and the Instagram account will kind of be in conjunction with each other. So some things I talk about here, I might then share in a little bit more detail on Instagram, specifically something like this, like with the books, and me sharing how I have used them or how I would use them and why I put them on the list. That's probably more of an Instagram thing, because I don't have to edit that. I can just put it up. So anyway, I'm gonna say goodbye, and I will see you guys next week. Until then, talk to you later.